Hey, family, Reverend Russ, back again with another short pivot. Super excited again, as I always say, that you all have decided to join us, whether you're watching, whether you're listening, whether you're working out, even right now, as I do the most of my podcasts. Super humbled and super excited that you decided to join us. Don't forget to go on to ministrypivot.com to get more articles, to get more content. Big shout out to all of those who I've been able to interview so far and talk pivots with. Super excited about that and your response to the pivots. Excited about those that are coming up. Can't wait to share with you more of that information. Super excited again about the fact that we get this time and this moment to talk about what it means to pivot. And I had this thought this week. I want to just jump in right now. This won't be long at all, but I had this thought this week as I was dealing with one of the ones that I did recently. We were talking about my daughter, but I had this thought with my son. Now, my son is super young, super new. Shout out to Caleb, and super thankful for him. But I noticed that my son is willing to leap. That's really what I wanted to talk about today. He's willing to leap, not literally jump off the couch just yet, but I'm sure he'll be trying to do that too. Jump off the couch, jump off the stairs, just jump, period. But my son understands that he's trying to learn new things. And I watched him one day because as he starts to learn new things, he starts to conquer some things. But as he's working to conquer some things, he realized that he has to take steps. And I wrote something around this that I really wanted us to think about as I learned from my son, as I learned from what he has done. One of the things is that he understands that these things are new and he's going to make mistakes. And he knows that it's a mistake because he sees what we do. He sees what my wife does. He sees what I do. He sees what his big sister does because he's always trying to do what his big sister does. And I thought about that for a moment, that we are exactly the same way, that we see what it is we want, but oftentimes we don't give ourselves the grace enough to know that you're taking a leap. It's not going to be perfect the first time. You're taking a leap. It may not be perfect after the 100th time, but you're taking a leap. So understand that mistakes are welcome. I really want you to think that. I really want you to get that inside your heart, inside your mind, that mistakes are welcome. Because the truth is, family, if you don't make mistakes, that means you're doing the same things over and over again, and that you aren't trying to learn, but definitely you're not trying to leap. So he looks and he right now, one of the things he's doing is we have these baby gates that are all around the house. Y'all know how that is. And he knows that these baby gates are but so strong. And so, but every now and again, as he's trying to get around the gate, he's trying to get over the gate, he's trying to get, yeah, through the gate. I love my son. He's trying to get through the gate. He knows that it's not always going to work the way he wants to, but if he keeps trying and he keeps being persistent, he gets that from his dad, from his mom as well. But understanding that he knows that it's going to be a mistake, but he also knows that I'm going to be persistent with it. And I'm not sure who you are. I'm not sure where you are. I'm not sure what is the thing that you need to leap toward, but understand that as you leap toward that thing, that they're going to be mistakes. It's new, and so there are going to be some mistakes. The other thing that I thought about in this moment is that not only is it new, but it's new, and there's going to be some marks. Definitely understand that my son, when he tries new things, he sometimes he falls. Sometimes he busts his lip. Yes, busts his lip. Sometimes he does things that hurt, and there may be a mark, but the mark is an example of him trying and not quitting. The mark is an example of not his failure, but his consistency to push forward. Him being consistent and moving forward. And my question for you, even on this afternoon or this morning, whatever you're watching, is that what marks do you have of you taking leaps? Or do you have no marks because you haven't taken any leaps? Do you have no marks because you haven't taken any chances? Do you have no marks because you haven't taken any risk? Shout out to my pastor, Pastor Matthew Watley. He has this term that I love that he uses, and he says that at the end of the day, that faith equals risk. And so if you're going to have faith, you have to be willing to have some risk. So not only do we know that when we're taking the leap, and again, all this from my son, when we're taking the leap, we understand that, hey, it's new. You're going to make some mistakes. Hey, it's new. There's going to be some marks, but also understanding that he knows that when he's trying and he can't do it, or he's trying and he's a little concerned about it, it's new and my father is watching. Now, obviously, I am his earthly father, so I am here watching. But I encourage you all. I'm a reverend, so I gotta say this. I encourage you all to understand that your heavenly Father is watching you. That there's nothing that's going to be too dangerous that God is not going to be watching you through. It does not mean that God is going to pull you out every time. It does not mean that God is not going to allow you to get marks. It does not mean that God is not going to allow you to fail. What it means is that God is watching you, and that any good parent, any good father, any good covering is going to try to make sure that you progress forward and you don't move backward. That you move forward in the things that you ought to do. You move forward in the things that you are trying to do, and that as a good father, that as a good parent, that they're watching over you for protection and for covering. And that's what my son does for me. So every now and again, when he's trying something he knows he shouldn't be doing it, or he knows that he may not fully succeed, he looks back to make sure his father is watching. And when he sees I'm watching, he then presses forward. Can I help you and understand that in this short pivot, that I really believe that God is pushing for some of us to take leaps, that God is pushing for some of us to move forward. But you have to understand that sometimes it's not going to work out the way you want to, that sometimes it may turn into a mark, or it may turn into a bruise, or it may turn into something that is unfortunate, but that can flip. But also understand that every time you take a leap, you should look to your father, because your father is looking for you. Hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully this short pivot was helpful for you to kind of move forward, to think through what you may have to leap toward next. Again, thank you all for being here. Thank you all for joining in. Thank you all for commenting, for sharing. I love that you guys text me every now and again. Those that have information, and that have connection with me, rather, and also that you message me. So super excited about that. Please make sure that you send this to someone who you want to encourage to take a leap, who you want to encourage to move forward, who you want to encourage to do what God has called for them to do. Again, thank you all for getting on today. Don't forget to go to Ministry Pivot for more information. And don't forget that this is your season of opportunity. All you have to do, that's right, is pivot toward it. God bless.